actually. I moved back to Nigeria. I had made the decision that
as soon as
I finished uni,
you're just coming back.
It's because I was looking for a job and I couldn't find a job, and I was like, I'm tired of
searching,
job hunting. So I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna move back to Nigeria, and I wanted to start a chin brand.
But you've always been into food business, like a food business kind of thing.
So that was my idea. I wanted to start a chin brand with like different flavors. Like imagine Biscoff chin, Oreo chin. So that was like my plan. And then as soon as I came back, a month or two later, I just had this inkling to go back to the UK.
Yeah.
And I was very upset because I was like, why would you make me say all my goodbyes and make it seem as if I'm leaving only for me to come back?
This baby dramatic. She's back already.
Teaching you how to Japada in style.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Japada Podcast, the ultimate spot for bold Africans rewriting the Japa narrative. Here, we dive into the unfiltered, sometimes gritty, other times funny, but always inspiring real-life experiences of Africans abroad who have made the big move back home to thrive. Forget all the usual Jakbayans. This is about flipping the scripts, okay? So if you're maybe a diasporan thinking of coming back or you're just curious, then girl, we're here to serve you the Japada tea, how to Japada in style. My name is Mololuwa and hello, mother.
Hi, my name is Atinuke.
Yeah, mother to me, Atinuke to you. And with us, we have an amazing, I don't even know what to... Amazing person. I would say a testament to many things. Faith, resilience, and an entrepreneurial spirit, I would say. Toke Salami. Dynamic, faith-based entrepreneur with a rich, I haven't even read, don't worry, you'll still clap, with a rich and diverse background in human resources, events management, and entrepreneurship. Born and raised in Ibadan, Nigeria, up until the age of 17, Toke moved to the UK for university, where she built a thriving life and career. But a year and a half ago, she took a bold step and relocated to Nigeria, or back to Nigeria, embracing a new chapter in her life filled with purpose, I think we can say, and passion too. And since her return, she's made waves in the food business, especially as the founder of Nigeria's largest mini-pancake mobile cart, which has impressively catered to over 150 events in just 11 months. And not just anyhow events, so no, for real. And when she's not doing that, she's, hosting her friends. She hasn't hosted me yet. But okay. But your mom hosted us. 50-50. Okay, fine. Or exploring new restaurants across Lagos. But through it all, her faith remains at the core of everything she does, shaping both her personal and professional life. And in this episode, we're really gonna get to know a bit more about maybe the two, especially her relocation story and the challenges and triumphs along the way, especially in building a business in Nigeria. But I think for her, at the center of it all is her unwavering trust in God, which guides her in every step, really. So it's about to be delicious with Madam Bekiri.
Thank you.
So, hello.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm so happy to be here at the Japada Pod. Thank you, Mololuwa. Thank you, Mommy. I'm so excited.
Hey, this mommy thing that everybody's doing, you people are making me feel as if I'm that old.
Okay,
I'm not.
Thank you, Auntie.
I'm
not.
So, yeah.
Thank you for coming again. Appreciate you, man.
So how are you?
I'm good. I just came from the salon, so I just got my hair washed and blow dried.
Nice.
Something that I love about Nigeria, just being able to just go get your hair done at any time. But yeah, I'm good. I'm excited that it's the weekend. So, yeah.
You're glowing. I wanted to say
Thank you.
Is this what Nigeria does to people? Or
It actually
this is
does.
Just you?
It actually does. I think it's because it's really humid. The weather makes you dewy. Like it doesn't make you look dry. Yeah. So thank you so much. That's so right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, so how's been Nigeria and this economy? Nigeria economy.
Does
it affect Toke?
It's not,
No, it
it's
affects
not-
everybody.
Are you sure?
It affects.
With this glow?
No, it definitely affects. I guess it's been a bit shocking, to be honest. There's some times where I would go out and maybe something that I bought maybe like last week has almost doubled in price. Because we deal with a lot of, at least in my business, we deal with a lot of like Nutella, a lot of all these imported like drizzles and stuff, Biscoff, all those things. And the way those prices just fluctuate is beyond me. So it definitely affects me. Because my business rather is very like niche and it's just one thing that we do. Maybe not as much as if somebody owns a whole restaurant and they have to deal with drinks, they have to deal with baking stuff, they have to deal with stuff for actual food and so many different aspects, lights, diesel, this, that. But my own is just Nutella is expensive, Biscoff is expensive, so things like that. But yeah,
But it still affects
it's been
you.
manageable, but it's definitely affected me for sure.
I guess that's what happens to businesses that have a lot of input or raw materials that are
From abroad.
Yeah.
from abroad. Yeah.
For sure.
And I think that's one area that we need to actually do better. I mean, having those things in
Made-
local, will help. And give it to Nigerians, despite all these complaints. Resilience. I don't know how we do it. It's as if we just come out. We find a way
Just
of
we find a
flipping
way.
this. Yeah.
Of course.
That is one thing that I think is common to all Nigerians. Most Nigerians.
Nigerians,
Most Nigerians. They just
They have that resilience, that fighter spirit.
Impressive, honestly.
Nigeria no go
I love
green
it.
now.
I do.
Nigeria no go carry
Never.
last. No matter what, I won't carry last.
Honestly.
Yeah, you find a way out. If
For
Nigeria, somebody said, if there's any country
Yeah.
that you can't find a Nigerian,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they have it.
Run.
It means that place.
It's not habitable.
Yeah.
It means you can't make something
We are
out of it.
everywhere.
Yes,
Like
Nigeria.
Australia, India,
Everywhere.
Hong Kong,
Everywhere.
even North Korea, I'm sure.
For real.
Well,
Even in other African countries, and
Yeah.
they're doing well.
Yeah.
I think,
for sure.
we are very resilient.
Yeah.
And maybe
agree.
that's why no matter what the government, the economy serves, or all the basketballs, you just find a way of
flipping it.
flipping it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toke, we are going to be testing
Okay.
kind of, This is Nigerian Trivia. We want to test something. Yes. So yes.
I'm
yes.
actually the worst person for this. They need to just Nigerian history.
And that's one of the things this podcast also wants to achieve, to make sure that because I think when history and knowledge of this country is unknown to us, you find foreigners come enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we really don't, we can't see what they're enjoying. And that's why when diasporans come back and, they're relishing over some things, the locals are like, what is it? Because we need to know more of our own and also our history. But this is not history, don't worry.
Okay.
It's not history class. It's something that you should actually know. Yeah. This particular one, maybe I shouldn't give you because it might be above your
No, Toke. She's
Toke.
an Ibadan babe.
It doesn't matter.
Please
It doesn't
don't
matter. It doesn't matter. But you should, at least this particular song, you should know. So what song are these lyrics from?
Okay.
And who wrote it? I meant to marry you. And when I did, I'll be the one to take care of you for you. What song was this? Is these lyrics from? And who wrote the song?
That song sounds so familiar.
It should.
Yeah.
It should. I meant to marry you, and when I did, I'll be the one to take care of you for you.
Is this P Square?
No, but I can see why you might think that.
So I got to wrong.
It's older.
It's older.
Yeah. It's like I would say it's a Nigerian classic. It's not their
Hum it
generation.
Not that old.
I can
Still
say
young.
it maybe in the way that the lyrics are sung, but I won't hum it because you'll get it.
Maybe the title of the song, you can give a...
No. That one is
okay.
even worse. I meant to marry you, and when I did, I'd be the one to take care of you for you.
Oh, Olufumi style.
If I hummed it, can you it would
No,
be...
because I still listen to this song
Okay,
at
can
a
you
party
sing it?
last
Let's have
we
you
just
sing
sang, but then that's what I'm saying. The way I said it, right?
Can I even sing it?
The way I said it was the way they sang it now. I meant
No,
to
that
marry
first
you.
part. Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, and when I did, I've been on to take care of you, for you.
How did I think
You guys should finish it now. You started it.
That's that bit.
Yeah.
Marry you when I did. I've been on to take care of you, for you. I don't know the rest.
I don't know, Jai.
Try to show.
Olufumi o,
Má pa mí lẹ́kún o. Olufumi
That's such a
lọ́la.
classic. No, I love that song.
Yeah. See, classic,
Good choice,
right?
good choice.
Okay, now let's do one more.
Okay.
Before we go into the meat of the podcast. Which state is known as the giant of Africa?
Which state? Lagos.
As the giant of Africa.
Which state?
Yeah.
As per like mass?
No, in Nigeria. This is Nigerian Trivia, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Which
is
state,
it
yeah.
in terms of like
Yeah,
land
yeah,
mass?
it's a state. Yes.
Like
yeah.
how big?
It doesn't have to be giant of Africa. It's just known as giant
Or
of
is that
Africa.
just what?
People call it aka giant of Africa.
Or maybe it's your state. Your state is very big.
Excuse me?
Is it Lagos? Okay. I'll pick Lagos, can't lie.
Is that your last answer?
That's my final answer.
Counting down.
Yes.
Your last answer.
Final answer.
Your last answer.
Final answer. X?
X.
Which state is it?
Big X.
So which other states?
Giant of Africa.
It cannot be Abuja.
Giant of Africa. State.
Exactly.
Africa.
That's what
That
I
was why she
wondering.
almost got it because she kept clarifying.
That's
that
what-
Giant
that's
of
what-
Africa.
but I was, no. Honestly, I feel like I should be pardoned because I knew something was off.
You did keep saying it, yeah. And I was thinking, oh, she's just gonna say there's no state that's the giant of Africa.
Yeah, because I know they call Nigeria
The giant.
giant of Africa.
Exactly.
I get half points.
Yeah, no, you got that correct. I feel like
Fair enough. That was a tricky one. I can't.
Yes.
lie.
and yeah, it was a trick question, but
It
you
was.
thing is you knew the answer, but
Yeah, but I was just like,
But you were like,
maybe there is a state.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank
So
you.
what we like to do sometimes is we've got a few sort of dilemmas that people have or tend to have recurringly.
Okay.
People that have relocated from Nigeria tend to have, right? And we have another one which is so funny because anyway, my name is Ayo. And I recently don't worry.
Ayo.
Yeah, it's fine. And I recently moved back to Nigeria after 15 years in Canada.
Wow.
While I was excited about returning home, I now feel completely out of place. The inefficiency, the heat, the endless bureaucracy, and the way people expect who you know to get anything done, it's all overwhelming. Even socially, I feel disconnected because my way of thinking and doing things has changed. I'm wondering, do all returnees go through this? How can I settle in without feeling like an outsider in my own country? So it's just sort of transitioning back
So
into
this from
life
Japada,
here.
it's somebody
Yeah,
that is
somebody is
come back,
Japada. Yeah, come back. So it's just kind of like, how do I like transition
Navigate,
back in?
Yeah.
How do I navigate
In every
this?
way, like it sounds like even socially. So
Fair enough.
I mean, for yourself,
Do all
how did
returnees
you do
even
it?
go through this? Would you say
I personally went through it, but not for long. But I personally went through it. And I don't think every returning goes through it. I'm not going to lie. There's some people that they have would I say, more of like ease of life here as opposed to abroad. That when they move here, they just settle in quickly. They already know what they want to do. They don't feel overwhelmed. Obviously, things like heat and stuff, that's some things that some people are really looking for.
But is that possible for you to come from organized structure to not so organized structure, and you won't feel?
I mean, they might feel it, but it won't be like an overwhelming sense, because at the same time, some people might have been really suffering in the UK or in America or Canada. Like they might be having their own, that when they come
PTSD,
back, it's like whatever happens, please, I'm happy as long as I'm just home. So I don't think every returnee faces that, but I know personally I did face that when I moved back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you? Okay, maybe you should share your experience and compare it to what's this person?
Ayo.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. So yeah, what was like your experience like coming back?
So when I came back, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Which is why I said like I just felt very overwhelmed. I wasn't thrown into work, so I didn't have to really like deal with I guess Nigerians frustrating you or anything like that. I was just home.
Okay.
I was in Ibadan. I was just home, literally. You could always catch me in my room. If I wasn't in my room, I was probably in the kitchen in my house. So I was home for about 3 months. And like I said, I didn't really do anything, but I was definitely overwhelmed because I felt like I wasn't sure like what I wanted to do, and time was ticking, and my parents, they would just be looking at me like, okay, 1 month has passed, 2 months, what's going on? We're in the 3rd month now. They never made it a big deal, but it was always at the back of my mind. So I think the moments that I guess that whole feeling changed was when I guess I got confirmation that I was meant to be in the event space.
Okay.
And I think that was when I got that sense of like peace and like, okay, now I know what I want to do. And I guess the way that I even transitioned into events, I started off as an intern. So I got to see how the events, industry works and stuff like that. And again, like I wasn't really facing Nigeria because it was just, I had a very comfortable place to stay. From there to work, from work back home. I wasn't doing too much. I don't know if Ayo came back and started work and had to deal with everything, working with Nigerians and inefficiency and all of that. So all that. I guess the situation is a bit different. It depends. It just it's a bit different.
So I mean, socially then, because that's one thing that they've like mentioned specifically about feeling disconnected. Like what would you say to that?
Okay. In terms of like just feeling disconnected from the people that you left behind.
And I'm trying to find how to settle in without feeling like an outsider. Right?
So personally, the way that the route that I wanted to take, or rather took, well, firstly, NYSC helped me meet, people. So I was able to meet some people that I already knew before, but maybe we just reconnected just because of NYSC. So that's the first thing. Obviously, I don't know if I moved to Canada 15 years ago, so I doubt, or I don't know
how old
Ayo is. But if not that, if it's a Christian, maybe a church community, that's where you meet, family that's not your family. And with that, it's not just going to church and then going back home. You actually have to like stay after church, meet people, and get involved. So that's another way. And I guess there are just other ways you can meet people. You can meet people in the gym, just walk up to them. Hey, Does
that work in Lagos?
I think it does. I feel like it even works here more than anywhere else.
Because you can actually feel, if it were the West,
they
feel
like,
all that. Why are you saying hi?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so here.
Of course,
but then,
it works here.
Because we literally just had this drama with Madam Joyce and Lagos girls and...
No, but that's different.
How? Because it's the same thing in that I say hello and you guys are looking at me like I don't exist. So how does that...
Sorry, this Ayo is a woman or a man?
I don't even know. I don't, but
know. But also that's like
whether a woman
That's
or
just,
man, you can actually,
That's a small fraction of like people. I think generally Nigerians were pretty friendly. Just like generally. That's just my opinion. That was my own experience.
No,
at least.
generally, I think Nigerians are considered hospitable people.
Yeah.
Very, very hospitable.
I think generally. Yeah, for sure.
Except maybe you bring a particular energy or vibe across.
Yeah.
Trust Nigeria, as hospitable as they are, they can also give it to you.
And also, we have to remember that those ladies, they were, I guess Madam Joyce is like an influencer or something. And I don't know, maybe it was just that situation. Okay. I don't think Ayo is like an influencer or anything like that. So it's just a regular guy like me and you. Do you get? So it's just, I just don't think he should put himself in a box. And if he's just at home, every time and he's complaining about feeling disconnected, that's always going to be the case. So you actually have to put yourself out there. If you're not doing NYSC that actually forces you to be with people, then you have to actually go out, like I said, whether to church or to, I don't know, the gym.
Basically, look for communities.
Yeah, just look for community.
You can plug yourself into
Christian communities online. There's Oasis. There's El Shakar's one. I think it's called. I can't remember the name.
Oh, I'm not sure.
There's different ones. They're just different places. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, from someone who's done it, that's probably good advice.
Yeah, but however, I would also say that just the way you relocate from here to wherever, that you give yourself time, there will be cultural shocks.
Yes,
right?
Of course, yeah.
You give yourself time to settle.
Yes.
When you move back, don't assume because that's my home country. You still experience some cultural shifts and differences.
Yeah.
Because compared to how many years did Ayo stay
15
with?
years.
Yes.
That's a while.
Yes. Things would have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And him or her, of course, would have imbibed some culture over there. It's going to be different. They'll just expect cultural shock or cultural differences that you need to adapt to.
Yeah.
You might not agree with it, but don't come with the mind of where you're coming from. Come with an open mind to want to understand why are my people like this? Because these are now your people, not foreigners. So why are they like this? You want to understand why. Because sometimes context is very, very important.
Of course, context is always important.
Yeah, so if you understand, if you know why, you might be able to accept people the way they are, and you to start navigating around it. And just like Toke says, look for community. Yeah. I think that helps.
Life is actually not fair, So you've been watching the whole time and you haven't liked. Is that how you used to do? Like, comment, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, all them things there. Wherever you're listening from, don't be stingy, man. Come on. Okay, you can keep watching. Have you done it? Okay, keep watching.
Fair enough. So it's not easy though.
No, I know it's not easy. I'm bureaucrazy.
For bureaucracy saying this, I'm a bit
honestly,
yes, she has
it's
a
not
soft,
easy.
Maybe she has support system.
Wow,
God, this babe. I'm always like, I don't know how you have the capacity. You know so many people, and I just don't know how you do it. And because I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's different for Toke because.
It's different because I think she has learned that she knows when you are in Nigeria. Nigeria is a people place. You must know people. That's our culture. It is important you get that.
But Toke is a strategy, Joe.
No.
It
is.
Yeah, I am not gonna lie. It's part of it, of course.
It is. It's a people place. You need to know where every climb that you go to, and if you go over there, it's like you went with that people. I must know people. You don't need to know anybody over there. The information is online. You just go. But that is not the case here. So that's why you need people. So when so you have to have a shift in mindset to know that, okay, how do I now connect with people? Maybe that's what Toke is doing. And that's why it appears things are okay with that. She's connecting and she's just finding ways. What are the things these people love to do? For instance, if you go to an organization here or you go to when we want to greet, oh, how are you? Eku this, eku that. It's like you have to find out almost everything about that person. If you're abroad, you don't have to. There's some basic, that's all. You don't need to, that this place you'll be asking, how was your night? What's your business over there? Well, how the person slept or didn't sleep? You know, there are things that you just need to know what works here.
What works, of
course. So Ayo, I think that is what but give yourself time. 6 to 12 months for anybody that is coming back. No matter how far away, how many years you've been away, you just give yourself time to settle in. Into the culture. I think,
fair enough. Okay, so before you came back, you obviously left.
Yes.
So you said you left. Oh, we know that you left at 17. Is that when you left?
Yes. So I left. Yes. Yeah, I was 17. Sorry, I just wanted to.
To go to uni, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So how was that? How was leaving?
I was leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving was exciting.
Okay.
I guess before leaving, I did my nursery school, my primary school, my secondary school, all in one place.
As in one school?
One school.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So I was there for
I
started school
so
there.
So you'll be Madam Consistency.
Yeah. I started school there when I was 1 year and 6 months. That was creche up until I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Or 16. So then I went to a college where I did 1 year, a 1 year foundation program, Bridge House College in Ikwe. And then from there, I went to uni. So because a lot of us that went to that foundation school were already kind of going to the UK, I didn't feel like, I was, leaving, just going by myself. We already had, all of us, we had ourselves like, when we get there, don't worry. And I actually had, in fact, two of my flatmates, well, 1.5, because one was not really my flatmate, but he was always there.
Okay.
We all went to Bridge House together. So it was like, I don't know if they did that on purpose.
That's strategic, though.
I don't know. But I think they said because all of us were under 18. Because to be honest, if you went to uni in Bridge House, you were most likely under 18 because it was a 1 year foundation program.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was excited. I mean, I was also sad because all I've ever known really was like having my family there. My school, the school that I went to for that long, it was day. I never did boarding up until the 9-month Bridge House one, which I guess was a good like intermediary to actually going to
prep you.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a serious shock, like, I'm not coming home to my mom because I hadn't done that in 9 months. So I guess it was fine. So yeah, I was actually more excited than anything else, to be honest with you. Like my family, they always say that, I didn't cry. I actually didn't cry. I didn't cry. Like compared to when my sister, she went for A-levels. So I guess maybe that's different. But for me, I didn't cry at all.
So she didn't do any foundation. So there was no transition for her.
Yeah, so she went.
That's why.
Yeah, so she went literally straight from that same secondary school. She went straight to the UK to do A-levels. So she was like crying every day because she was like, how old? 14 or 15 or something. So, but yeah.
Wow. And so did it live up to your expectations?
Yes and no. Yes, because I was like that independence. I think it surpassed my expectation in terms of like how independent you are. Like you can just wake up and just leave. There's nobody querying you, asking you where you're going to. Like you can just do what you want. No, because I think I guess my uni experience wasn't as, what's the word? It wasn't as like, I don't know the word to use. It wasn't as full and like as juicy as most other people. Which is why if you knew me then, I was never in my uni. I was always in my friend's uni. I won't mind. I would spend £100, £80 just to travel. I'll stay with my friends for like 2 weeks, then I'll come back to my uni. So
where was that?
Where was it?
Why was that?
I think it's just because I didn't really have like a proper like community in uni. Like I had my flatmates who were all boys, and then that was it really for a minute. And then I had maybe 1 or 2 other like female friends, but they lived very far from me, so I didn't see them that often. So which is why most times I was just in my room. That was when I discovered my love for cooking and baking. So I guess everything kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah,
so,
interesting. So uni, you got through uni anyway.
Yes,
somehow. But then it sounds like maybe your post-uni life you preferred your lifestyle post-uni?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when I moved to London.
Oh,
well, actually, I moved back to Nigeria. I had made the decision that as soon as I finished uni,
you're just coming back.
It's because I was looking for a job and I couldn't find a job, and I was like, I'm tired of
searching,
job hunting. So I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna move back to Nigeria, and I wanted to start a chin brand.
But you've always been into food business, like a food business kind of thing.
So that was my idea. I wanted to start a chin brand with like different flavors. Like imagine biscuit chin, Oreo chin. So that was like my plan. And then as soon as I came back, a month or two later, I just had this inkling to go back to the UK.
Wow.
And I was very upset because I was like, why would you make me say all my goodbyes and make it seem as if I'm leaving only for me to come back?
This baby dramatic.
Yeah, like
she's back already.
So, but yeah, I eventually got a job when I came back. That was January of 2022. Yeah, so that was when I came back to the UK, and I moved to London. And literally, when I moved to London, I had the best time. Like I loved London so much.
Wow.
So yeah. That was that.
So if you loved it so much, why'd you leave?
Why did I leave?
Yeah.
That's the story
that's the tea for this podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're back now.
Of course.
Why? And how did that process?
Okay. So why I left was because, how would I even phrase this? I almost didn't have a choice. I had to leave. If anyone is in the UK right now and has finished uni and is not a citizen, you're probably on a postgraduate 2-year
visa
or postgraduate 2-year visa. Those visas.
Mm.
So the story is very long, but long story short, I had gotten a contract position to work in the biggest wealth management firm in the UK. I was so excited. In the world, actually, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is a dream job. It was HR. I loved it. Then an acquisition happened where they were taking over another bank. Okay. So that now meant that they would have double the employees and they need to mobilize those people. So some people had to be on the chopping block. And I was a contractor, so
it's easier.
It was just easier to just be like, you know what. But actually, the funny thing was when I met with my manager at the time, she mentioned that they were not even... like that wasn't really going to be a thing for our department. They wanted to actually extend my contract for another year, but there was no visa that really allowed for that. Yes, for that. I think the minimum then was the minimum now even is 3 years, I believe, for a skilled worker. Yeah, so it's either 3 years or 5 years. So they wanted to extend it for an extra year, but they couldn't commit to 3 years just because of all the changes and the uncertainty and everything that was going on. So eventually I had to leave, and I had about 3 weeks or so to search for a new job. Why? I was exhausted. Sorry?
Why did you only have 3 weeks?
Because of the visa. So so when I had that conversation with my manager, I stalled it. I can't lie to you. I didn't have that conversation with her till July. My visa was ending in August. Okay. So it was like, I literally had like 3 weeks. So she got back to me like a week later after the conversation, and that's when they proposed the 1 year whatever, and then that's when I was like, okay, that really cannot work. Yeah, so then I now had like 3 weeks. Okay. And if you know anything about job hunting in the UK, 3 weeks is nothing
at all.
It's nothing at all. You need a minimum of like a month and a half, or even 2 months or 3 months. Yeah. So because before I even got that job, I was out of the job for 5 months. So I was like, how am I going to find a job in 3 weeks that will sponsor? No. So I think I was even over it. I was applying here and there just because of like pressures from friends and family. But deep down, I knew that I was going to go back home. So I left it. My visa expired on the 24th of August. My flight was on the 23rd in the night. So I left it till the day before. Literally, I was in the air when my visa expired. Wow. So yeah, that was why I moved back. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
But if that did not happen, I can't lie.
You might still be there.
I will still be there because my plan was that let me be there till, I think I said 2029 or so. So that was my plan.
Okay, you had planned to be there for a particular
period of time
Yeah.
and now move back home.
Yes, to
So
secure.
you've always wanted
goods.
to, okay, so that
Yes.
you have the bag
Exactly.
when you're coming back. Yeah, I
Exactly.
get it. So ultimately, you still had plans
To Japada.
to see Japada.
Yes. Oh yeah. That
regardless
was always
of anything.
That was always in the plan.
Why was that? Because that's strange
that's
for young
strange, yeah.
people. You know, people just want to
Want
go
to
and
just go.
disappear. Yeah.
I think because I would love to raise my kids in Nigeria. I think there's just something that it did to me. I guess being around people that look like you, that behave like you, that act like you, it gives you so much confidence that when you even go out to the Western world, you're not really shaken by a lot of things that happen. And I guess, I don't know, that's just what I envisioned. I just always envisioned myself, being
Living forever
driving my
rather.
G-Wagon, dropping my children off at, Green Springs.
But you could have done that. You could have done that over there too, driving your children to school and all that.
Yes, but like the ginger, the ginger won't be
So
there.
close
Like,
on
you have to do so much more
To be able
get
to
that G-Wagon.
that lifestyle, over there.
Just do a one or two.
No, that's car financing. they do a lot
Fair
of
enough.
financing though.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why.
so how has it been since you came back?
It's been good. It's been interesting. I feel like my emotions are always like this. 2 weeks ago, I was still telling someone that if I was given the opportunity to move back right now, like to move back to London, I would. I was still telling someone that 2 weeks ago. Today, if they gave me the opportunity to move back, I wouldn't. So I feel like I'm just always like in limbo about how I feel. But I think for the most part, it's been very fulfilling. I think that because I know that I'm walking in purpose and I know that, okay, I'm doing what God wants me to be. I'm exactly where He wants me to be. For me, that's more than enough. Obviously, I'm human. I have my flesh. Sometimes my flesh will fight what God really wants. But I think just the reassurance knowing that you're actually walking exactly like you're aligned in His will. So yeah, that's more than enough for me to kind of console me every time I feel like this country can be
stressing
so long.
me.
It's stressing me. Or because I would say like 95% of my friends are based in the UK. I finally found a church in the UK after I was looking for so long for like a church community. I found one. I was settled. I was serving. I loved it, and then I had to leave all of that behind. So those feelings definitely still come. But again, I guess God's will. Just have to.
So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yes.
how would you say you're feeling about your move back
At this very moment.
at this very moment? Yeah.
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
That's solid.
That's a very strong.
That's a very strong,
That's very
That's
strong.
solid.
Because
one, actually.
despite all the
Ups and downs.
ups and downs,
So I want you to tell us what you're doing. You said you're walking in purpose.
Yeah.
It all sounds very like amazing and perfect.
Yeah.
So what exactly is it that you're doing that
Okay.
means that you're walking in purpose?
I think I've always known that I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
That's just me. That's just who I am. My dad is an entrepreneur. My mom is an
I was
entrepreneur.
gonna say, shout your
That's
family
the
up.
background.
Yeah.
All my uncles are entrepreneurs. All of them. I don't even think I have one. All my
really?
dad's brothers, yeah, they're all entrepreneurs.
There you go.
Yes, my mom is a fashion designer. My dad is into entertainment. So that's just that has
The
been
life
what
you've
I've been
known.
used to. My parents, they've done all sorts of business. They've done dry cleaning business. They used to sell attachments. They've done restaurants. My mom has opened a bakery before. My dad has opened. They've done so many different things that's what I've just seen growing up. I've seen them manage their own time. My dad definitely, he worked in a 9-to-5 for a while actually. Then he ventured into entrepreneurship. But I guess just most of my life, I've kind of seen them, manage their own time and just be entrepreneurs. Sorry, what's the question again?
So it's just
what
you said you were
doing,
walking in purpose.
Okay, yes,
Yeah, what
yes.
exactly you're doing?
So I feel like I just felt like that was also the path that I was supposed to take. And I think God has given me a lot of confirmation through people and through like Him speaking directly to me, that be like through the word, through dreams or whatever. I just know deep in my soul that this is what
Where
I'm
you're
supposed to be. And I guess it makes a lot of sense as to why the corporate world, it was very uncomfortable for me. It never really like sat well. And the moment it sat well, it was taken away from me. So it was like this, it kind of confirmed that, okay, you know, this is not really for you. Like my first corporate job, I was actually fired from it after 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the job I got in January. Then luckily I found another job like a week after, which was like crazy. And then I got that job. And after that job, or during that job, I hated it so much. It was like not what I wanted to do. I just took it because I had to pay bills. So let me just take the first job that comes. That one, I left it. Then I was now jobless for 5 months. I got that one that I loved. And then 7 months after, you know. So it was never comfortable. The doors just always kept shutting. But with this one, the doors is like you open another door, you walk, another door is opening, another door is opening. So it was like, this is different. So I'm used to struggling and but this one is just easy, you know, things are just falling on my lap and I'm like, what's happening here? Plans that I had for my business, let's say 3-year plans, they're coming to pass in 3 months, 6 months.
Wow.
It was mind-blowing for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about the business then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What would have been if looking at you plan for something for 3 years and it's happening in 3 months? Do you think there's a particular factor apart from God?
Yes.
Yeah, because definitely God is.
Yes.
One thing that I've seen with all the Japada, it's like God has been.
I think
always
you need
playing,
God to do it.
You need God to
Yeah.
survive in this country.
Yes,
To
yeah.
live well.
I think
in
you
this
need
country,
God to do it. Yeah.
Anybody that asks me, how are you doing? It's not me.
It's such a Nigerian
It's
answer.
God,
It's God,
honestly. Because
Okay,
it's actually
okay.
true. Like, I'm not even saying that just because, like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know how I'm doing it. Even me, I'll ask myself, it's okay. How are you?
Even if it is God, there must be something God is leading you to
Of
do.
course,
There's
of course.
something that God you're doing that is the key that is kind of
That is like,
unlocking
yes,
those doors.
yeah.
What would you say that is?
That is
because
for
somebody
me.
might be watching you that is planning to take that jump
Step, yeah.
and thinking, okay, maybe I might need to develop in this area. Yeah. What is that thing?
I'm a people person at my core.
Don't say.
Really? At the core, as much as I like to deny and I'm a people person. And I guess that's also why I kind of ventured into HR, because as an HR professional,
That's a people thing.
you need to be, you know,
Yeah.
So I'm a people person, and I think that I can't deny that my network has definitely helped my business for sure, but also not even so much that, because a lot of the events that we get, I have no clue who the clients are. Like, I'm always very stunned. Like, how did you find me? Why do you want me at your wedding? You know, so I think the major
Especially one that I heard from the grapevine.
Which one? David?
Yes.
David and Choma?
David and Choma's
David, I'm like, what? You mean you? Wow.
Hiya, my name is Atinuke.
Hiya, I'm Mololuwa.
Thanks for watching up to this point.
Yep. Thanks for watching. But you guys, you need to like the video.
Yes, now.
Subscribe, share, comment, leave a rating on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Engage with us, please.
And do all the good things that you can do online, yeah?
Yes, please. Okay, let's get back to the episode.
Yeah. So I think for me, at least, what worked for my brand was just like the marketing and like just putting it in everybody's face. Whether or not is one event we have in 3 months, that one event, the content from that one event will be able to last, that people, you know, it was just going to be, just want to be everywhere, that you'll be wondering, what is this? You know, how can I get this at my event? Like, we just wanted it to be as everywhere as possible. So that was my own strategy in terms of like social media, just making sure that it is on point. And if anybody goes to our page, you can see that we don't play when it comes to social media. It's very expensive, yes, but I think it yielded the returns that it needed to yield. What else? So yeah, that definitely helped with the growth.
Even though you haven't really told
then what exactly
it is.
we
And
know.
What possibly
Your business.
your business?
Oh, my business. Oh
Your business. I'm not sure.
You know, you said this in your introduction, so I just assumed that.
no,
Sorry,
but still,
my
man,
bad.
you got to plug
because
yourself.
they want to check
My
your
bad,
story
yeah.
and they want to go and check your page
Oh,
and see
so
what
sorry.
exactly she's doing. Things like
Sorry,
that.
I forgot about that. It's called Bekiri, so that's Bekiri. The Instagram is at bekiri.co. We're also on TikTok, soon to be on Twitter and Facebook. Watch this space. But yeah, Bekiri. And we do mini pancakes. So think of like pancakes, just regular pancakes, but like smaller bite-sized ones. And we only really cater for events at the moment, or like pop-ups. Maybe one day, very soon, maybe you'll be able to walk into our store and I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, for now we just focus on events. So any type of events. We even did a burial last week. Yeah.
Wow.
We do burials, we do corporates, we do birthdays, weddings, wedding after parties.
To your bag.
Yes, civil weddings, every event. Kids' birthdays are also like really big for us. So
Wow.
if you have an event coming up soon, we also have a giveaway coming up soon. Sneak peek.
Ooh.
So
Giveaway. Oh,
so yeah,
wow.
watch this space.
I think, yeah, your story is definitely, I think it's relatable at different levels for different people, if that makes sense. Because I think you've gone through quite a few different phases and not too long a life.
Yes. Right?
So
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, for real. And wow. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly, I'm guessing they were fine with it, but your parents, when you moved back, were they like, cool?
Oh, my dad was over the moon.
Very happy.
That is exactly what my dad has always wanted.
Okay.
Even my sister, she went to Durham, finished, came back. None of us are there. Like, he's it's not like he's against being in the UK, but my dad grew up in the UK.
Okay.
He left when he was 25. So
wow.
He doesn't have a passport. Yeah, I don't know why either. But
because he never wanted to just stay
he
there.
didn't really care that much. He has indefinite leave to remain, but he's never. My dad is over 50. He's never felt like, let him go and get the passport. I mean, he maybe thought about it once or twice just because of us, but not because of him. So yeah, like he's very happy for us to come back, especially for me because of the industry that I want to go into. My dad, he loves cooking, he loves food.
Okay, that was something you have actually
talked to him about.
Yeah, my dad cooks in the house. Like every time he cooks, like I'm always the one that's there to shadow him or like watch what he's doing. So maybe it's even him that I was like, kind of, you know how people say Project Mbappe? I was like a project for my dad. Like, let me groom her to be the chef. So it was almost like that. So yeah, he was very, very happy when I came back, and he knew that. Yeah, maybe I think I told him that yes, I wanted to work corporately for a while before I ventured into entrepreneurship, which he was fine with because he did the same thing. But he knew that eventually I was going to venture into that, and
so the reception
sooner than everybody thought I did.
Right. Even you thought, probably.
Even I thought, exactly. So
generally the reception was good.
They were happy. My mom is indifferent whether you're there or you're here.
Really
She doesn't mind as long as you're okay.
So in your experience since you moved back, what would you say have been your high points, sort of, or one high point? Maybe if you can share just one high point and possibly one low point, if there is any for you.
High point. I feel like any of my high points are business related. I don't really do
it's something
anything else.
Bringing the bag.
Yes, because I would say the high points was.
It might be something that it has done to even you.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Okay. The high point was definitely when we got our fourth equipment. That was in December, and our fourth cart.
Okay.
Because the plan was we'll start with one cart for our first year. So we'll only be doing one event a day. Which is why I say what was supposed to be happening in exactly. But by the end of the year, we were doing 4 or 5 events in one day.
Wow.
I would have never, I think that was like when I was like, oh, this is this is crazy to me. Because by our third month, I had already gotten my second cart, which was almost like a 2.5 year plan, 2.5 year, 3 year plan. So it was like, it was a bit insane that by the end of the year, we had already done what I had hoped for years down the line. So
that was the high point.
That was my high point for sure.
And then
low points. Low points. I have my low points on Sundays, almost every Sunday.
How come?
Church.
Because of church. I really, really miss my church. Like, if you knew me when I was in London, like I was very involved. Like I just loved it. Like it was the day that I looked forward to the most during the week. Like, I get to see my friends. After church, just together, just talking. And after church, my church was in like Baker Street, so we'll just go to Selfridges, we'll walk down to Soho, we'll have a good time. But here, my church, they have like they have 2 services in Lagos every month, but it's not obviously the same because it's not the same people, it's not the same demographic, it's more of like an older demographic in the church. And then the other 2 Sundays, I tend to watch online because I don't know how to visit churches. It's not really my thing. It's either I'm
there or
fully in or I'm just not. So I've tried this. I've even visited a church with Mololuwa before. And I liked it and I've gone a few times, but I just don't know how to just sit, watch, go home. It's just not my nature. So
but could it be that because of your work structure when you were in the UK, that made it possible for you to be available to plug in and to do so much more over there compared to
here?
Because if you, from what you're telling us, if you're that busy, do you think it's even making the time available for you to
me to do that,
nurture a church community or church? To
be honest, I think that in the UK I was probably busier.
Okay.
Here I'm busy, but most of the work that I do, I don't have to be present somewhere.
Physically present.
Yeah, I don't have to physically present. My old job, because I was dealing with graduates and interns, and it was like you basically had to be there most of the time. It was a graduate recruitment role. But here, most of the work that I do is from my house, like from my phone. So yes, maybe most of the time that I'm using my phone, I'm probably working. But I feel like I still have some time to myself. And the good thing is because we work in events, mostly it's the weekends that take my time. During the week, there's still, some admin to do here and there, but not like, I can finish all my admin by 12 p.m. if I wake up at 9 or 10. So, but I think I'm still like really involved in the church. I'm a leader in church and all of that, but
it's not the
same.
The excitement that you had over there.
Yes. So it's Sundays are always very like low for me.
Okay, good. Well, not good. That is low,
of course,
but
I understand.
good that. Because to be honest, I think it could be much worse.
Of course.
So
that's good that is the low point. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So not to glamorize suffering or anything, but
I just remembered another low point. When I don't know if I told you about this. In Ibadan there was like an explosion that happened in Ibadan, and unfortunately, my family house was affected, like completely destroyed and all of that. So that was definitely like a low point. And I think seeing it live was even worse than, because when my dad initially told me, I was like, I didn't really understand what he was saying. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is really, really bad. So I think that coupled up with Sundays, those were my 2 low points.
So the family had to move.
Yes. So
does that have to do with the mining stuff that we heard?
Yes. They said, well, this is the story I heard.
Or something like that.
Yes. So they said there was a mining materials or mining explosions in a van. Like I think a couple of them in a van that they had locked up. So there was a fire in that house. So the fire, I think, engulfed the house and spread to the van. So obviously, those stuff that triggered by, I guess they were triggered by the fire and the heat, and then, and it wasn't just one apparently. So, when all of them went off at once, the impact was people died, and it was just
I read about it. I read about it.
Yeah, okay.
That's definitely a very low one.
That was a low one.
Yeah, that was a low one.
Okay, so I mean, in kind of maybe looking beyond yourself, as I know you like to do, if you were kind of to maybe advise, because you say you speak to your friends sometimes and you encourage those that want to, that it might not be such a bad idea to move back. If you were to kind of maybe speak more generally to people that live abroad, diasporans, Nigerian diasporans, I think there are a lot of myths that exist about Nigeria. And so you having lived here now for a lot of your life, but now as an adult, are there any particular myths that you know people are sort of hold to be true that you're like, if you get to Nigeria, you'll find that this thing that you people believe is not actually the case. So are there any myths that you can like bust for the diasporans so that they can
popular opinion, people what people think over there,
and it's like actually
it's not exactly like that. I guess let me think about this for like 1 second. I guess people just think that you can like make way more money in the UK. A lot of people have that mindset because of the exchange rate.
So flipping is meaning that you can't make so much money in Nigeria as you're going to make.
No, that you can make more money
in the UK.
In Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
That's what Toke said.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Even though some people think no matter how much, doesn't matter the exchange rates. If I'm making £2,000 here, that's 4 million in Nigeria. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if somebody is making £2,000 in London, let's say they're living in London, your rent already takes up about
1,000
half of it, or even more than half. You have to pay for council tax, which is now a crazy amount. I was paying council tax of like £200.
Yeah.
You have to pay for your
Water
bills, your bills,
TV
your water
license.
bill, TV license, Wi-Fi.
Yes, water.
Exactly.
Water bill.
If you travel to work or your Oyster card monthly, you have to top that up. Even your phone bill, topping that one up too. Yeah. By the time you remove, you can't even save.
If there's anything
anything left, maybe you have about £400, £500 left to live your life. That's even much. You probably have about £300 if that person is earning £2,000. So it's like, yes, maybe in the grand scheme of things, £2,000, okay, 4 million naira, whatever. But would I say, is it the bills? I don't even know how to put it, but it's just, you're just spending, like you're spending more.
Your net at the end of the day,
your
it's
net
not
is
as much as if you compare yourself to your mate in Nigeria.
Yes, for sure.
And the quality of life
is better here. Yeah. How I can just go and say, I want to wash my hair now. Like I didn't even know that I was going to do that this morning, but I was like, since I'm going to Lekki, let me just quickly go and get my hair washed. But I guess if I was in the UK, get my hair washed, I have to think that that's about another £35, and that's in Bontoke. So imagine going to somewhere like so no, you have to really think and make up your mind. And I don't like all those things, because I like to wake up and say, okay, I'm going to do this today, and how much did I even wash this hair? Maybe like 10,000, something like that. That's like £5. So I think it's just, I feel like that's just a very, very big misconception. Don't convert, because we're not spending £2,000 here. Neither are you spending 4 million naira there. It's a very, very different situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, maybe just to close out, if you were to advise somebody that is maybe, let's just say like you were 2 years ago in the UK, and they are coming back to Nigeria, whether by choice or not, what would you say? This is your camera. What would you say? I don't know. A lesson to
because
give.
Especially people that are going to school, people see it as I'm escaping. A lot of people have this escapist mentality. Yeah. Oh, I must just look for work. I must get work and all that. Maybe those are the kind of people you're also speaking to.
Yeah. Say something to them.
What can you say to them so that people don't feel the only option they have is to remain abroad?
Yeah.
What would I say to them? I feel like this is a tricky one, because
I know.
you don't know what some people
Everyone's
left
situations
what the
are-
situation was here before they left to go abroad.
But if they've gone to improve or enhance themselves, it means they have something they can offer, right?
And I think they should stay there if that's the case, to be honest. You know, if that person felt like Nigeria was, like people say, happening to them, and they felt like they had no way out, and even if it's all those menial jobs that people like to look down on, if that's what they feel is, you know, making them happy and whatever, and they feel like at least it's better than when they were here, honestly, by all means, to each to their own. I don't think Nigeria is for everybody. I genuinely feel like some people were meant to jackpot and not come back. Like, it just happens that I was the one, or one of the people that was meant to jackpot. But some people were meant to go and were meant to stay. So I think it's all about just finding out if you are one of those people or if you are going to be like me. So, and by doing that, you can pray, you can consult people, speak to people. I guess the first thing is knowing what you want to do in life. It's not every business that will thrive in the UK, and it's also not every business that will thrive in Nigeria. So like maybe that's the first step. Like I said, consulting people, praying about it, and just not overthinking the move if you are to move back. Because that's something that a lot of my friends are thinking about, but they're overthinking it because it's like, when I move back, I'm going to be living with my mom, I'm going to be living with my dad, they'll be stressing me out, this one, that one. Like, the way God can just turn things around literally in the blink of an eye is crazy. You don't know what can happen tomorrow. So if you're thinking of moving back and you feel like that's what you're supposed to do, definitely do it. God will back you. He will have your back. He won't leave you. And he will establish your plans as long as, you know, you're diligent and you're doing what you're supposed to do. But if you genuinely feel like the UK or America or Canada or wherever you are, that's where you are meant to be, and you feel fulfilled in those countries, then by all means stay. But yeah, Nigeria is a lovely place to be. I don't want to talk bad on my country.
Yeah. No, it's not just about we have to just be realistic.
Yeah, but have to be realistic.
It has its challenges.
It has its challenges.
But it's lovely.
But
Just
everywhere
like
has
over
their
there too.
challenges. Everywhere has their challenges.
Challenges.
For sure.
Exactly.
And the sense is the fact that some people are over there does not mean that they're not doing anything back at home.
Yes, of course.
Because the diaspora remittance is an industry on its own.
Of course, yeah.
Nigeria is doing a lot in Africa. Definitely. So that's their input.
Of course.
Some people are investing here. Do you understand? So the fact that you are not physically here, some people, you know, is their expertise that they kind of bring. Yeah. We hear of people that are scaled up or skilled up all over there, that they come home. I've heard of a consultant that is in Manchester, and he comes here every month.
Really?
To do something in one hospital every month.
Wow.
People are always waiting for him.
Wow.
There's always something you can offer.
Yeah, of course.
You know, for him not to have taken the jump, he's been, you know, he's adding value over there, but at the same time, he's doing something here. So it depends. Depends on what works for.
And what works.
Yeah. So you know what works for you.
You know what works for you, exactly. Whatever you feel works. Whatever you feel is best for you, and I guess people who are with families as well, because I know people have different reasons. So
exactly.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say, to be honest, I wouldn't say that I won't go back.
Yeah. Ever. Of course.
That's not.
Of course. You've opened the doors for yourself in both places.
Yeah.
My ideal plan is to be back
Expand.
on foot.
There you go.
Expand.
That's my
options.
ideal.
Which is a great one. Yeah,
we like
options.
options.
We have a lot of expatriates in Nigeria.
Going
back and forth.
It's just about rewriting that Japa narrative. Right?
Yeah.
So that's really all it is.
Just do it with a plan, child. That's one thing I always tell. I'm not saying you cannot go by gut feeling or whatever. Yeah. But you need to plan.
You need to plan. Yeah.
Plan if you want to do it.
I mean, like I say, I feel like there's probably something that most people can relate to like along Toke's journey. So it'd be interesting if anything along the way that, you know, we've spoken about relates with yourself. It'd be interesting to hear about it. If you have a similar story or a different Japada or Jakwa story, it'd also be interesting to hear. So absolutely reach out, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all the, you know, platforms that you get your podcasts on. And just remember that, Jakpa doesn't have to be forever. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we are, of course, advocating Jakpada, but ultimately you do what works for you. In times and seasons. Life is just one of those things. But if you're going to Jakpada and you want to Jakpada in style, then this is the podcast you need to be listening to. So thank you so very much for doing so. Toke, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate you, man.
So fun. I love this conversation.
podcast.
We appreciate you, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.